Okay, guys, so this is a YouTube video I regret that I have to make. I gotta make it. In Catholic teaching, one of the ways you can share in the sin of someone else is by keeping silent. Now, this is basically the news. New document stresses that blessings should not be for same-sex should not be given. Yeah, Pope Francis says priests can bless same-sex couples under certain conditions. If you are a Catholic with memory, not theology, not having studied in seminary, but with memory, I'm 30 years old at the moment. We remember when it says the Catholic Church cannot change its teachings and practices on this matter. Well, guess what? He did it. Now, as most of you know, I'm a traditional Catholic, so this will not be happening in my congregation because, yeah, we've basically known this. We basically had Francis's number for a long time, and previous Vatican II popes who've not been as liberal as him, but have made changes. And this is a level that, literally entirely Anglicans under Benedict XVI became Catholic, entire congregations, because they saw the stuff going on in their churches, and the Anglican Church didn't want it. This is within memory. So let's read some of it. Pope Francis firmly approved allowing priests to bless same-sex couples, with new document explaining a radical change in Vatican policy by insisting that people seeking God's love and mercy shouldn't be subject to an exhaustive moral analysis to receive it. Yeah, in Catholicism, it's natural law. Actually, in case you're wondering where it is, because here's the thing. Every now and then I come across someone online that says oh, I'm Christian, but I believe this. This is what the Bible says. So this is my Bible. It is in 1 Romans 26:27. It's in every translation of the Bible. Feel free to look it up. For this cause, God has given them up to shameful lusts, for the women have exchanged the natural use for that which is against nature. And in like manner, men also, having abandoned the natural use of women, have burned in their lust towards one another, men with men, doing shameless things and receiving in themselves the fitting recompense of their perversity. It's in pretty much any translation, the Bible's gonna have the same terminology. It is a sin. Period. No ifs and buts from a biblical standpoint. It must be done. It must be said that it is wrong. The document from the Vatican office released Monday elaborates on a letter Francis sent to conservative cardinals that was published in October. In the preliminary response, Francis suggested that such blessings could be offered under some circumstances if they don't confuse the ritual sacrament of marriage. Yeah. First of all, you can't bless. Like I said, you cannot bless sin. You cannot bless. You cannot bless things that are objectively wrong, and it is. You cannot bless a concentration camp gas chamber to work well, for example. The only blessing you can give something sinful is that to be liberated from it. The document repeats the rationale and elaborates on affirming that marriage is lifelong sacrament between man and woman. Okay, that's good somewhat. And stresses that blessings should not be conferred at the same time as civil union, using set rituals, or even with the clothing and gesturings that belongs to a wedding. Okay, fair enough. Ultimate blessing offers people a means to increase their trust in God, the document said. Open the door to grace. The Vatican holds that marriage is an indivisible union between man and woman. That's good. That's fair. As a result, is long opposed same-sex marriage. Now, I do want to be fair to Pope Francis as far as it is. It is not allowing same-sex marriage. It will, however, absolutely be used by people to say that same-sex marriages are okay. And it is on par with literally what goes in the Anglican Church, allowing blessings for divorced or married couples, same-sex couples, etc., and so forth. And it absolutely will be used to promote same-sex marriage, 1000%, to say that's not as bad. Now, you can absolutely give people who are gay, etc., blessings. And you should, like, people who are, like, we all need blessings. There is no issue there. The issue is that the thing you're blessing is something that is objectively, from a moral standpoint, wrong, and it undermines that. Now, I've met many people who are transgender, who are gay, who are amazing, wonderful people. Except for the fact that I think that some of the things they're doing are morally sinful, and the Bible says they are sinful. I see them more or less like I would any non-Catholic Christian person who's doing something I don't totally agree with. And that's actually why I do not talk about it too much on this channel, because it's such a controversial topic. That can be misunderstood. Things, can be misconstrued as hate speech. I don't want that happening. And for one thing, that's not my intention. That's why I don't talk about it that much on my YouTube, and I don't plan on it. Frankly. That said, I, as a Catholic, faithful to tradition, I have an obligation. I have to say that this is not a legitimate development in the Catholic Church. And how do I understand this? Well, okay, I'm going to say another thing that I don't plan on really saying too much about my faith. I'm a sedevacantist. I have not recognized Pope Francis as a legitimate pontiff since 2014. It's a controversial opinion even among traditional Catholics, because you don't generally judge the Pope. But at a certain point, I have to say something as to why. And this is the reason why sedevacantists become sedevacantists, even if I'm wrong. This is kind of why. This is exactly why we become sedevacantists. This is exactly why people do go to the SSPX. And this is like, among traditional Catholics, like, this is like weeks after. I remember reading an article in LifeSite News where we said we came to the faith to come to Latin Mass, and the local cardinal said that traditional Catholics and their views should die a slow, bloody death. And then we're told to be passionate this, we have to bless something that was alien to our faith for years and years and years. Biblically speaking, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to go with what God says. And in Romans 1:26-27. For this cause, God has delivered them up to shameful lusts. For God has, for their women have exchanged their natural use for that which is against nature. And in like manner, men also have abandoned the natural use of women, have burned in their lusts towards one another, men with men, doing shameless things and receiving in themselves the fitting recompense of their perversity. I love gay people. I do love them. God bless them. God protect them. Violence against them isn't wrong. Absolutely, 10,000%. 1,000%. I want to be clear on that. But from a biblical standpoint, what Francis is doing is sinful and is not acceptable from a Christian context. Now, to any Church Catholics who are watching this, there are traditional Catholics who think like you. Literally, that's what they're called, traditional Catholics. You kind of had, well, not even had suspicions. We've flat out been saying it for like decades now. This is just the most recent installment of craziness. If you want Catholicism as it's always been, go to an SSPX church. And my one hope from this, in some ways it may be a good thing, at what point are going to tell modern Catholics that, okay, this is not the same religion that it was 100 years ago? And that's the thing that makes me the maddest thing, the most angry thing about it. Like, honestly, if Pope Francis was going around using another name but another religion, building his own church buildings, getting a lot of followers, I'd be mad about it. But the thing that really gets me about Pope Francis is that he is using the name of my religion to say that this is okay, when it is contrary to what I believe, contrary to what my religion has taught for 2,000 years. And it's just inherently dishonest, completely unfair to people who do believe in it, and it's caused a lot of bickering and backfighting within the Catholic Church, basically. If he wants to teach things that aren't in line with Catholic teaching, change doctrine, he should make a new religion, full on, full stop, and be honest about it. He should not be trying to change the religion of other people. By the way, a lot of the Catholic world thinks he's wrong on this. Like, by few Catholics in Africa, it's like a large chunk of where the Catholics in the world are. Of any sort are in Africa and in the third world and the global south, and they think he's wrong. Completely. If he wants to change religion, make a new religion. Like, don't go into another church, try to make it into something that it's not. Anyway, I have to condemn Pope Francis. Yes, I'm a sedevacantist. That's not my main concern right now. Like, happy to hear opinions that he may not be, that he's somehow maybe crazy, or it's news is taken out of context. Absolutely willing to hear that. That is not my honestly major concern. Happy to hear any arguments for it. I'm not, however, willing to abandon what the Bible teaches. I'm not willing to abandon what the church teaches. Period. Full stop. I don't care how popular it is or is not. God's will be done. God bless.